All over the world, radical revolutionaries are rising up who hunger and thirst for the righteousness of God and for the billows and the wave of His presence to wash all over them like a flood. They are so consumed by His love and beauty that they want nothing else than to give themselves over completely in holy abandonment to the accomplishment of His holy purposes in this generation. While they long for the presence of God, they are sick to death of religion with its unholy and worldly spirit that quenches vision and locks people in puny mindset of small thinking that tries to confine God in a tiny box of human design. Instead, they are consumed with a passion to see the God who is more than enough, the God who can take those who cannot and transform them into those who can. God is breaking forth His body out of limited religious mindset into the world of the supernatural, the world of our God who is the I am that I am, and of Jesus Christ who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God our Father is birthing and stirring in the hearts of His children. To a people who cannot, He is saying, I will do it through you. I am the God who breaks forth into glory. I am the God of change and transformation. I am Jireh, Jehovah, your provider. I am the one who makes a way where there is no way. Step out in obedience into that which you know not of, and watch what I will do through you. I am the God who is more than enough. He said to a barren man, walk before me and be blameless, and I will establish a covenant between you and I will multiply you exceedingly. I will make nations out of you, and kings will come forth out of your loins. That man believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness. Through the power of God's word, which can never fail, Abraham, the man who could not, was transformed into Abraham, the man who could. The old man and his barren wife brought forth a son, and they named him Isaac, which means laughter. And they laughed and laughed, because their could not was enabled by a God who is more than enough. Sometimes the seasons in our life which appear darkest prove to be doors of destiny. It all depends on our attitude. Esther may not have realized it at the time, but God was preparing her for a divine destiny, placing her in a strategic position in the kingdom of Persia to meet a specific need. You see, what the king found attractive about Esther wasn't just pulchritude. It was the beauty of a quiet spirit, a heart that is at rest in God. You see, she placed her life in the hands of a loving God who moved by divine providence to place her exactly where He wanted her to be. The God who could take servant maidens and clothe them in the softest and richest of silks. The God who can take slaves and transform them into queens. I call Him the great planner, the master strategist. He is our God, and He is more than enough. David was not only the youngest, the smallest, or the least likely. Not only was he considered weak, but his weapon of choice was grossly underrated. But it wasn't about David, you see. It was about the Lion of the tribe of Judah. It was about that defender of Zion who neither sleeps nor slumbers. It was about the God who takes a man who cannot and transforms him into a man who can. It was about the God who uses stones to slay giants and scatters the camp of the Philistines. It was about the God who uses what the entire world sees as weak to shame the strength of men. He is still the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is our God, and He is more than enough. There will be seasons in your life when people will not believe in you, neither in the potentials that you carry. But we have a God who says, believe in me. I am your righteousness. I am your shield. I am your salvation. I am your resurrection. I am the voice in your wilderness. These seasons shall soon give way to your Elijah moment, your Esther moment, your Emmanuel moment. As you come in the name of the great monarch of Zion, the King of the universe, He becomes a voice in your Kairos. He is still the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is our God, and He is more than enough. He orchestrates the practical and the prophetic, the hope and the healing, the rising up from the ashes, from Genesis to Revelation, when defeat meets God's divine, through the passage of you and I. He reminds us that we are not just humans having spiritual experience, but that we are spirits having human experiences. He says that we are God's. When we follow that roadmap to redemption, from Genesis to Revelation, He transforms our weaknesses for strength. He assembles our broken pieces into a masterpiece. For we have a God who makes sanctuaries out of broken vessels. He is still the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is our God, and He is more than enough.